Day in the life of a millionaire entrepreneur. Have you ever wondered what it's really like to be a millionaire entrepreneur? Is it driving around in a Bentley? Is it flying on a Learjet? Is it sailing on your yacht? Well, maybe for some, but I'm gonna show you what it's really like to be a millionaire entrepreneur. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm gonna share with you how I really spend my days, what I do each day to continue making millions per year. I'm gonna share with you the habits that made me rich, and I'm gonna share with you the absolute biggest lie that people tell you about what it's like to be rich. So let's talk about what it's like to be a millionaire entrepreneur. As you can see, I am literally inside of one of my Airbnb properties. I own dozens of these. We have a company and this is what we do. I've been doing real estate for over 15 years. I started off though as a working person. I used to work in corporate America at banks and mortgage banking. You know, I worked at Bank of America and Chase Bank and Wells Fargo. And I climbed the corporate ladder and I just had a side gig of doing real estate. But one day I decided that I wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur and I wanted to be rich. I know most people do want to be rich, but I actually started making a plan to exit my job and really become a millionaire entrepreneur. But things were definitely not what I expected. Most of what I do each day is not the fabulous life that you see, you know, people driving around in Bentleys and flying around in private jets and driving around in Rolls Royces and Bentleys and all of these things that people show you. That's usually not how you spend your day. Yes, as a millionaire, you have more money to buy nicer things if you want to, or live in nicer homes, or spend your time with nicer vacations. However, that is not what a day in the life is like. So let me keep telling you and showing you. So as a millionaire entrepreneur, most people would think that you spend most of your days relaxing or working. And quite frankly, it's a balance between the two. I start off my day with the same morning routine. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I started this morning routine before I became a millionaire. In fact, I would say it's probably the reason why I am a millionaire today. I wake up each morning, I take time to be positive, I listen to positive things when I wake up in the morning, I meditate, I do some stretching, I do some yoga, I eat a light breakfast, I make sure I say my affirmations, and I always journal. Every single day, no exceptions, not even a break on holidays or vacation. Every single day of my life for like the past 6 or 7 years, I have done this morning routine. It was a multi-million-dollar mentor that taught this to me, and this is why I've adopted all of these habits. When you wake up in the morning, it is so important to set your intention for the day. As a busy person, a millionaire, someone that is running a successful business, has lots of people that you employ or you're responsible for, this requires a lot of me. And it requires me to be the best version of myself. I'm not going to be able to handle the stress and the work and the things that come my way, the obstacles, if I don't start off my day properly. And so one of the things before you become a millionaire, as a millionaire entrepreneur, you have to work on your morning routine. You have to start setting your day up properly so that you can be productive, so that you can be efficient, and so that you can get things done. You don't want to spend your day working all day. That's not a millionaire life. I do not work all day. I also don't meditate all day. So there's definitely a balance between the two, but you got to start off with your morning routine. Let's go to the next thing. So now that I've done my morning routine and now I'm to the part of my morning where I'm actually doing something, it's now around 8 a.m. But my morning routine starts somewhere between 4:30 and 5 a.m. every single day, even the weekends. I get up at the same time every single day, mainly because it's a habit. Additionally, I started my business while I still had a job, so I would work on my business before I went to my job and after I got home from my job. So I got used to working early in the morning and I realized it was the best time to give my business my best self. So waking up early in the morning and doing my routine was super important, so I've kept that. Now that I'm a millionaire entrepreneur and I have lots of successful businesses, I start my morning the same way, but I do not answer my emails, talk on the phone, answer text messages. I don't do any of those things until about 8 a.m. But like I said, I wake up between 4:30 and 5 every day. And additionally, I do not need an alarm clock, okay? Did you hear that? I do not use or need an alarm clock. I have trained myself. I'm excited about my day. I'm usually excited about what's going to be happening. And for years now, I have not needed an alarm clock. So this is super important. So once you wake up and you're waking up early, you're doing your morning routine, making sure not to get on the phone, making sure not to answer your email. Don't pick up that laptop. Don't do anything that requires external people. You really want to stay to yourself in the morning. Additionally, I do not talk to anyone probably until about 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning, because I've been up for 2 or 3 hours being with myself, thinking about what I'm going to do, what's going on in my life. And then I will start bringing in other people. You want to make sure you've set your intention, you've done everything that you need to do with your journaling and your meditation before you start entering into the picture other people, even if it's your spouse or your kids. So now we're at about 8 a.m. Every single morning at 8 a.m., Monday through Friday, I have different meetings with my team. I usually have a call with someone at 8 a.m., a call with someone at 8:30 a.m., and then a call with someone at 9 a.m. Because like I said, I have several different businesses. But mind you, if you just have one business, you probably will only need to do one call each morning. You want to talk to your main person or your team every single weekday. You want to tell them what they need to be doing, talk about what some of your accomplishments were previous days or previous week, and what your new accomplishments and achievements are going to be for the upcoming days, weeks, and months. So you get on the phone each morning with your team, or at least I do, and I'm talking and I'm going through different things that they're working on, different projects, different social media posts, or different properties we're getting. Again, whatever it is that I need to talk about in my business, that's the first thing that I do when I speak to someone. So after I've done my morning routine, I do my morning calls with my team members, my managers, my operations managers, and I give them their directives for the day. Also, and this is so important, I'm delegating, okay? I am not actually going to be doing a lot of the work. I am overseeing that it gets done and overseeing where we are on certain projects. I want to make sure that my team is performing. I want to make sure that I'm communicating with them, that they have an opportunity to ask their questions. But at this point in my business, I'm mainly talking to just the managers. I don't necessarily talk to all of the employees that I have anymore, because it's just grown to a point where that's not possible. So as an entrepreneur of successful businesses, I have my morning calls so that I can delegate. Next, after I finish my calls, I will do some of my own work. That is when I actually do what we would call work. Now, most of the time I do my work from wherever I am, whether I'm at home, or if I'm out of town in a hotel or at an Airbnb, or if I'm across the country. This is where I would do my work, meaning this is when I pull out my laptop and my phone. So now that I've gathered my team, I know what I've delegated almost everything that I do to them. There are always a couple of items that I need to handle. I may need to talk to one of my attorneys or one of my financial advisors or a financial planner, or even sometimes different vendors that I'm working with. I need to speak with the owners of their companies. So this is when I will do my actual work. Now, here's the fun part, and this is where the millionaire entrepreneur comes into it. I spend most of my days here. You will see, I am on my back patio. This is where at my pool, I'm looking at the lake. This is where I spend most of my time working. I pull out my laptop, I pull out my cell phone, and this is when I do my work. I may even put on some subliminal type of noise just to have some noise, not necessarily music, but maybe piano playing or some violin sounds, or even, some motivational speeches where someone's kind of talking to me while I work. That's how I work. That's my choice. That is where I do my work though. I am literally working, but this is the scene that you see when I am doing my work today. And then last but not least, I spend time with my family. I got my work done early. Like I said, I usually get up around 4:30 in the morning. So honestly, my days are pretty much done by 12 or 1 o'clock. I've done all of my work. I usually only work about 2 to 3 hours of actual work where I'm maybe writing something or answering emails or talking to people on the phones. Or maybe it's a day like today where I'm filming. Those are the only days where I actually may work all day. If I'm filming, I probably will work all day. Or if I'm doing an event or speaking at someone's event or being on someone's podcast. Those are some of the things that I do now that are work, but I actually don't have to. Those are completely optional, and many of them don't actually make me any money. If I go on someone's podcast, for example, I don't often charge. So these are the things that I pick and choose to fill in my day, because most of my day is spending the time with the people that I want to spend it with, my loved ones. So there you have it. That is a day in the life of a millionaire entrepreneur. It's definitely not driving around in a Bentley or flying in a Learjet. So I want to make sure that you can do the exact same thing that I do, and I've created an entire training just for you. Go to noelsfreetraining.com and access this entire course that I made just for you, teaching you my exact formula for making money in real estate with little to no money and without risking your credit. Go to Noel's Free Training, that's Noel, Noelles, noelsfreetraining.com. I want to make sure that you have all of the tools, all of the resources, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noel. To your success.